Hey guys, my name is Ryan and welcome to Overwatch Central. So in this video I had a few bits of news to go over, mostly following Rollock and Sigma being added into competitive. But the first thing to go over is this new skin for Winston with a London Spitfire theme, as I'm showing you on screen. Whilst I'm doing that, I did want to shout out HyperX. We've been working with them for quite some time. Myself and Miska use all of their stuff, and they make various bits of kits. Headsets, earbuds, RAM, microphones. We will go over it a little bit more into this video. This is interesting for a few reasons, whilst I show you some of the other data mine stuff, such as his weapon. Most of you will remember the J. Jonak skin that came out for him being the MVP last year, and I do remember London Spitfire kind of spitting their dummies out a little bit, with them saying that they won the league that year, therefore they should get skins. The skin itself looks amazing. As you can see on the back of his jetpack, it's a little airplane, but according to rumours from Halo, there was meant to be 6 new skins for each of the Spitfire players, I guess, but this was changed and Blizzard decided to do just the one for Winston. I'm quite surprised that they didn't go for Tracer with this skin. You know, with her being a pilot and all, with her being British, I figured it would suit them really well, to be honest. So, kind of disappointed on that, but it is a really good skin for Winston. No idea when it's coming out. This wasn't announced yet by Blizzard. This was all leaked early, but in case you wanted to have a look, maybe Dive's going to come back in a big fashion, this would be a great skin to go alongside it. Now, I want to talk about why this season, this upcoming one with the Rollock beta is really broken. It's pretty ridiculous the state that it's in, but frankly, everybody should be playing it, regardless of whether you play much competitive or not. The reason is that everybody's placing a lot lower on average. Here's a few examples from the competitive Overwatch subreddit with a thread on this discussion. We have an example here. A player, before roll queue was added, was at 2532 rating. After Rollock, he placed at 2483. But the crazy thing about this is they won all of their games. Granted, you have less placements because you're only playing 5 games to get placed, but I still think that that's quite crazy that you can win all of your matches, absolutely dominate, and still place lower. And this is the general trend from people, including Miska, I believe. There is an exception to that rule, but I'll talk about that in a second. But it goes as bad as a player here that had the rating of 4.2k, so he was a Grandmaster player, and they placed in Masters on tank and just about GM on support, which is a huge drop. It's a drop of 750 SR. So the reason why I wanted to bring this up, first of all, is that if this has happened to you, not to fret, because the reason why you should play this season is because none of it matters. Going onto the Player Overwatch website to talk about roll queue, you can see this paragraph, and right at the end of it, it says the beta season stats will only be available for a limited time and will not count towards a player's permanent competitive season stats. So basically, in the career profile, you will not be able to see this beta season once it has completed. But it is a bit ambiguous and vague on the terminology here. Does it affect MMR or SR? Is that counted as a stat? And Wyoming Mist, who is a tech support MVP on the Blizzard forums, confirmed that yes, the roll queue beta is a temporary 2-week season, and the results from your performance in this season will not stay on your career profile and will not influence your overall competitive hidden matchmaking ratings. Not to mention, Sigma is enabled in this competitive season. Weirdly enough, he came out a little bit after the season started. Originally, he wasn't enabled, and then about 2 or 3 games in, about an hour into the season, Blizzard server-side enabled him, which was weird considering they said that he was meant to be going live into competitive in 2 weeks with season 18 started, so kinda went back on that. Weirdly enough, and kinda forgot to enable him, I guess, but now is a really good opportunity if you want to play Sigma in competitive to go and do that. You could lose all of your matches, but it's not going to affect your SR or MMR going into season 18. This is the perfect season to start learning new heroes. This is a great time to play Anna. You know, maybe you've been like, I want to sort of play Anna in competitive, but I'm a little bit nervous to. Play her now, because it doesn't matter. Your SR and rank does not matter. It will not be affected going into season 18. Same with Sigma or any other tanks. Time to play DPS now that you can roll queue for it. You are going to upset people in your games if you aren't very good, but this is the greatest 2 weeks for you to play heroes that you never played before and really hone your craft. Even if you lose every single game, you could fall all the way down to bronze this season, and then when you place in season 18, you will still place roughly to where you are. So I wanted to go over this for a multitude of reasons. First is, if you place lower, don't be disheartened, because everybody on average has been placed lower, unless you are basically one-tricking a role. I've mostly been playing support on my account, so when I did my support placements, I placed like 75 SR higher than before. So if you are just a tank player or a support player or a DPS player, you should place around the same area. Those that have been placed like 700 SR below are mostly flex players, to be honest. So if you are a flex player, you may place a lot lower, but it doesn't matter. These stats are not going to be used against you. Like I said, you can fall down to bronze. Season 18, you'll start where you started before. So please make use of this free season for you to practice and play stuff without your SR being impacted. I really do think this is a good opportunity for people to practice heroes going into a brand new meta. Finally, I did want to mention one thing about Sigma that I didn't realize that was on the PTR for quite some time apparently, and it's this new quality of life change. See, Sigma's secondary fire puts out the shield when you hold the button down, stops moving the shield when you let go, and then when you press the secondary button again, you clear the shield, you remove it, which can be quite clunky for some people. If you find yourself messing that up a lot as a Sigma player, then have I got the skill for you? If you go into your settings on each of the heroes, you will have the reload clearing the shield option, because Sigma doesn't really have a weapon of sorts, he doesn't need to reload, so what you can do is you can bind reload to clear the shield for you. You can still clear your shield with secondary fire even if you have this change, but if you find yourself messing up where you place your shields or clearing it by accident or wanting to clear it faster, this is a really nice change if you find yourself doing that. In fact, this might be the way going forward for a lot of Sigma players, but do definitely try it out if you are interested in playing more Sigma, see if it's for you, basically. It's a small quality of life change for the hero, but I think for a lot of players it could be high impact. It's worth a try at least. But that's everything that I wanted to go over. I really do think you should be playing this season, even if you're not that interested in playing competitive. I'm going to put a bit more time into heroes like Baptiste and Anna, heroes that I'm not great on, to be honest. I could be a lot better, but they have been heroes that I have been practicing over the past couple of months or so, and started to climb now, which is good. So now is a really good time to be able to play those heroes, practice them, and not worry about my SR in the future. Big shout out again to HyperX. We've been using this stuff for a long time. I did want to shout out the headsets again, the Cloud Mix Bluetooth ones. I'm going away to Gamescom next week alongside Miska, even though there's no Blizzard stuff, it's more of like a little holiday. But I'll be taking them for the flight, for walking around. They're just a great pair of headsets, high quality, not too heavy. You know how heavy headphones can be really bad for your neck and your shoulders and just hurt. These are really nice, and wireless headphones are the future. I absolutely adore them. If you don't have any, I would recommend at least taking a look. It takes a second of your time, description below. But like I said, let me know where you're placed in the comments below. Thanks for watching, take care, we'll see you next time.